Let's start how the reaction begins. Then we'll show you how it's established. Then we'll show you how to overcome the reaction that's established. See, so you and I meet on the street, and I'm rude to you. I really put you down, and you get upset. The moment you become upset, two things happen. Now, I'm a stranger, and I'm very rude, and I put you down. And so I'll be living in a small town. Sooner or later, you're going to meet me again. The moment you resent me or become upset, it's a weakness in your character. You may not know that as a weakness in your character, but it does do things. It weakens you more. It desensitizes you from God, if you know how I'm using that term. It separates you further from yourself. At the same time, it sensitizes you to me. Now, that's like the Vietnam syndrome, post-traumatic stress syndrome. When you overreact to something, when you resent somebody, you sin. Sin separates you from one, connects you to the other. It makes you sensitive to stress, especially the stressor. It can make you generally sensitive to all stress. I'll talk about that in a minute. But now, let's establish that one thing. Now, I'm walking down the street, and I'm coming down the street, and you see me a long way off. And you know it's me. But maybe you see someone who looks like me, and you have a fright round your heart, but it isn't me. It does that too. It looks like me, but it isn't me, but you get a fright. But assuming that it is me, you get that shock. That's your conditioning working. That's what you've established. That's the bond you've established to me. See? As I approach you, you're going to start, getting resentful towards the fact. Start getting resentful all over again. I haven't, but this time I'm not mean to you. I'm, good morning, how you do? I gave you no reason to be resentful, but you're resenting the fact that when you don't like your inferiority you feel. You don't like that feeling, and so you resent me for it, even though I've done nothing to deserve that at time. Now, if you just look at all of your situations, so the minute you start to react to somebody, you add resentment to it. Now, for whatever reason you do, if you do that, is that correct or not? Have you noticed it? How many people have noticed that? All right. Well, what you're doing, it's a vicious cycle. Once you sin and fall from grace, once you don't forgive somebody once, they don't have to, they don't have to do anything wrong the second time. Their very presence makes you resentful to them. Not only that, it's called projection. You may resent your father and then project it on your husband. And he's done nothing wrong to you. But because he's a man, and your father was a man, that's the Vietnam syndrome, right? See? It's called transference. You resent everything that looks like him. You can't help it, because once you start to resent, you become addicted to resentment, because it becomes a means by which your ego flowers. In other words, it starts to give you a sense of indignation and righteousness. And it gives you the power to move and have your being always in a wrong way. Always sensitizing you more to not just to the man, but to the flowers and the bees and the shrubbery, that you're getting angry clipping the fence because you clipped, one of your best flowers. And you get resentful towards the flower because it was his fault. They got in the way.